Is Councilor McConnell on? Okay. 6 o'clock. Welcome back. I'm going to call this meeting to order. First things first is the motion that the agenda for the council meeting of January 12th, 2026 be approved as presented. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor Young, Ray, then Tracy. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. There's no any declaration of interest tonight? Seeing none. Sorry, I do have regrets from Councilor Burton.
Councilor McConnell is now online.
Oh, good. And Deputy Mayor McConnell is online. Perfect. Thank you. There's no presentations tonight. We do have a delegation tonight from the St. Lawrence Shakespeare Festival. I know I have the General Manager, Ingrid Bjornson, and Joanne Beckstead, the board chair. So they're here. We're going to play a video that they've submitted. It's a 5-minute video, and then we're going to open up for questions to the St. Lawrence Shakespeare board chair and the general manager. So go ahead and play the video.
And James Wallace, the co-artistic directors of the St. Lawrence Shakespeare Festival. Thank you for having us today. We're sorry to not be there in person, but are proud to be represented by Ingrid Bjornson, our general manager, and Joanne Beckstead, the chair of our board of directors.
We are here to express firstly our deep gratitude for the town of Prescott and this council. We feel your generous support in every aspect of our work, including financial and in-kind support, which ensures that we are able to produce the best professional outdoor theater in the region. We are here today with our gratitude, but also an encouragement to continue to uphold your support at the level that has been in the past.
The upcoming 2025-26 season at the St. Lawrence Shakespeare Festival is one of our most ambitious seasons to date. We are titling our upcoming summer a season of innovation, one that stretches our artistic reach, strengthens regional partnerships, and brings new visitors to the area through a dynamic 3-part program. The season will open with R&J and Joni, a world premiere new musical, a fresh, heartfelt blend of Shakespeare's words and the music of Canadian icon Joni Mitchell, performed by 6 of the country's most talented actor-musicians. This marks our first venture into fully staged musical theater, opening the door to new audiences and adding to the festival's cultural tourism appeal.
Our second show, performed by the same world-class cast, is Macbeth at the Tower. This promenade or walkabout production offers a bold new experience at the historic Maitland Tower, where audiences follow the story as it unfolds around them in a truly immersive experience. The classic story of ambition, witchcraft, and imagination will feel completely unique and utterly captivating for our patrons. While this production takes place just outside of Prescott, it directly supports Prescott's long-term cultural and tourism goals. Our home, artistically and administratively, remains on the riverfront. And this temporary expansion is a strategic step designed to grow our audience, raise the festival's regional profile, and draw more visitors into the community. The immersive nature of the production is expected to attract people from across Eastern Ontario and beyond, many of whom will stay, shop, dine, and attend additional events in Prescott as our home base. Building our reputation through innovative programming ultimately strengthens the festival and increases the economic and cultural benefits we bring to the town.
Finally, we are excited to present the Spotlight Series. Over 3 Tuesdays in the summer, this series celebrates regional artists from across Eastern Ontario, while further broadening the range of cultural experiences offered at the Kinsman Amphitheatre and activating the waterfront beyond the main stage production. This series will feature a family show, a night of music, and an engaging play.
Together, these 3 projects create a vibrant, forward-looking season that invites more people to experience the arts in Prescott and supports the continued growth of the local tourism economy.
Over the past 2 years as artistic directors, we have endeavored to raise the profile of the St. Lawrence Shakespeare Festival, and in addition to that, the town of Prescott. We have been featured in numerous large-scale publications, including the Ottawa Citizen, the Toronto Star, and CBC Radio. The festival was also fortunate to be showcased in a PBS documentary last year, featuring our production of She Stoops to Conquer from 2024, but focusing on the festival as a whole. It was a huge opportunity for the festival to display to a larger audience its energy, atmosphere, and all-around history. We were so proud of that documentary, which not only showcased the festival in such a positive light, but threw an eye on Prescott as the home of this festival and the people of the town as stewards of an institution that brings such joy to the region every summer. This season, we have engaged a publicist who will be working with us to raise the profile of the festival even further and press both locally and in nearby metropolitan areas. This publicist will be selling the idea of a summer getaway with Prescott at the center of it. We are putting additional effort this season into drawing tourism to the festival and to the town. When working with this publicist is a large part of that.
We view our place in the framework of the town of Prescott as a privilege, but we also believe that we make a valuable contribution to the ongoing evolution of the waterfront and the continued impact of tourism on the region. We hope that you agree. We ask you take into consideration our history and impact in this town and also appreciate what we are trying to accomplish next season.
Your support is integral to our festival's institutional health and artistic ambition. We hope to continue our mutually beneficial relationship for years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any questions for Ingrid or Joanne? Councillor Campbell?
Through you, Mayor Schenker. I was really excited. I watched this at home and you're really trying to change it up and it's, I'm just so proud of the ideas that came out. I'm just wondering, would you be asking Augusta to donate a bit of money for the?
Actually, there is a presentation and Philip Lane is going to sort of be there on behalf of the tower and the festival to yes, look to Augusta.
Yes, we have submitted,
yes,
and we have submitted the community grant application to them as well.
Okay, good. And can you divulge? I don't understand what a walkabout play is. You don't have to say what this one is, but what's the concept of it?
Basically, you follow the actors around to different locations. Not to give anything away,
Right.
but you know, I think right now, basically there's 3 primary areas where you will be walking into different spaces to see different aspects of the show. One being, of course, the chart house. You know, there's a banquet scene, so the banquet scene will take place in there, and then you'll follow the actors to another location as well.
Okay, so at some point you're sitting though, right? You're not up the whole time?
Yeah, there will always be seating for anybody who needs accessibility, definitely. If you're able to stand throughout the production, you can do that, or we will definitely have seating available and enough seating that everybody would be able to see.
Okay, great, thanks.
And they took us through it with Philip earlier, the whole board, and it was just an excitement that it was something you watched and when you could just visualize how exciting it could be.
Yeah.
And something that had always sort of been bantied around was like, why don't you just take this on the road? And it was too hard to just take one of the shows, say to different theaters in Eastern Ontario. I think this answers some of those questions, like let's get that outreach out there a little further, and it's a little closer to Brockton, hopefully getting that that crowd down.
It's very creative.
Yeah, it's very creative. I think it's gonna be very exciting.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Kirkby?
Just a one question. So with the Maitland, how many shows are reduced? Is there a reduction in shows in Prescott?
There is a reduction in shows. We'll be moving from 22 shows to 16.
16, 22.
It's not a lot. Like we've managed to keep the numbers, and that's why the Tuesday night series, they're different too. So hoping to draw sort of in that same number of 16 shows, the same number of people as if we had.
Right.
That's the idea, is to grasp a larger audience.
Yeah.
So that we can grow it.
We feel that with the show in Prescott being a musical, and musicals always being whatever theater you go to, you know, the musicals are the ones that bring in the most attendance. We're hoping that actually our Prescott audience or the audience in Prescott won't actually diminish at all. It will actually have a higher attendance than in previous years as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kirkby. Deputy Mayor McConnell.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar, and a happy new year to my fellow councilors and yourself. The timing of the questions all seem to be about Maitland here. I guess it's because it's new for us, but what's the timing of the show in Maitland? I know Prescott's shows started around 6:37. What's the forecast for Maitland?
There won't be any matinees in Maitland because we do want it to be more dusky. I believe, and I'd have to go look at the website, I'm afraid I don't remember at the top of my head, but they're either a 7 o'clock or an 8 o'clock start.
Shorter show, isn't it?
And it is, and that's a good point.
It's a shorter
It is a
show and
shorter
there's
show.
no intermission.
Correct.
It's just an immersive sort of, yeah.
Okay, the only reason I asked that, Ingrid, is they have mosquitoes in Maitland as well as Prescott, and you're closer to the water, well, as close to the water, so it's something you'd have to be concerned with for both the actors and the audience.
They don't fall in.
So they're gonna come alive.
Oh, the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I can't see Lee's face, so I just want to.
The show will actually, even with the 8 o'clock show, the shows will actually almost come down at the same time as they would normally at the amphitheater. So it is definitely a good thing to flag, however, but hopefully the timing will work out where we're just at the beginning of the mosquitoes as opposed to, you know,
In the middle of them.
in the middle of them.
Any other questions, Deputy Mayor McConnell? It's frozen. Can't tell if he's frozen there. It's frozen.
Either he's frozen or in the picture, one of the other.
He's out gallivanting. All right, I'm going to move along then. Councillor Tracy Young, you have a question?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. With your goal of increasing tourism and bringing more people to the area, do you have any planned partnerships like with the Quality Inn or with downtown restaurants or any kind of packages that you're thinking about?
Definitely, we'll be exploring, what I'm hoping to explore is a stay, play and go kind of package with Quality Inn, the golf course and ourselves, or as well as with the Quality Inn and ourselves. Also, we will be continuing our dinner package. We'll have to find with the Red George clothing, that opens an opportunity to add another restaurant into that. That program is very successful with over 80 packages sold, or actually it's probably over 100 packages sold every year. And that's where the restaurant, it's a $5 discount for the restaurant voucher that the restaurant and ourselves kind of split that savings for the patron. So we would definitely be exploring that, and the only restaurants, even though the show's in Maitland, the only restaurants would certainly still be that area.
Yeah, I'm on the BIA and I would maybe suggest even doing a presentation to the BIA board. Because I know, just to get that
Very
whole partnership.
Yeah, I think that was one of the other things that that the board wanted to explore with the three of them is also what strategies can we employ, and that was outside of what we already do. And you know, the BIA would be a big part of that, right? Because it is who and how can we partner?
Right.
What new programs can we sort of institute without a lot of, you know, money, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Young. Councillor Rayon?
Will I still be able to buy my season pass or my 10 events ticket?
Yes, it will look a little bit different because the capacity for Maitland Tower will be a little bit smaller than the amphitheater. So anybody who has the Plex passes or anything like that, we will be reaching out to those people to make sure that they book their ticket well in advance.
For that show.
For that
right?
particular
Because-
show.
Because we do have a specific number, we can't go over there, it's a little more flexible in town.
Yeah.
But
Looking forward to another great season. Number
It's very exciting. It's
number
very exciting.
24.
24.
24.
Great.
It's my town.
And we have,
Congratulations.
it's a pretty big idea for 25.
Terrific.
Thank you, Counselor. Deputy Mayor McConnell, I think you timed out there. Did you want to, do you have anything else to say? Any other questions for the board?
That was a very polite way to put it. I don't know what's going on. We got excellent Wi-Fi in the park and have for some time, but I found that about every 5 minutes, the screen just freezes. I'm still here, but no, I didn't have anything else to add, but thank you for asking.
All right, thank you. So my question, when you answered it already for me, was the 24th season. So looking forward to next year's 25th. And then just coming back to Mayland, how, should we start promoting buy your tickets now? Like, what's the number of tickets there?
70.
70, okay. And your average here in town, was it about that per show?
The average per show is about 100.
Okay.
If you're, including complimentary tickets and season passes and things like that. So, comps will be, and that's a good point, complimentary tickets will be fairly limited to the Maitland Tower.
Right.
We think we can get 75 in, but we want to just play it safe with the 70.
So get your tickets now.
So get your tickets get your tickets now.
All right.
Have to pick your numbers, right, yeah, which are gonna be a little less flexibility in switching them over just because of the number. Right?
Well, great. Is there any other questions? All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Have a great season. All right, next up is minutes of the previous council meeting. Motion is that the regular council minutes dated December 15th, 2025 be accepted as presented. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Campbell, Councillor Kirkby, any questions or comments about the minutes? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried, thank you. No communications or petitions tonight. We do have a council information package and the consent report. So the motion is that all items listed under the consent report section of the agenda be accepted as presented. Unless there's someone, okay, hold on. Councillor Tracy Young.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. I'd like to pull out number 16 from the city of Kingston.
Okay, I think that's a popular one. Deputy Mayor McConnell.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor Shanker. I'd like to pull out the, I'm not sure which one it is, but from December 16th, Smiths Falls regarding the blue box pickup from nonprofit organizations, including food banks. I think that's important. We've gone from municipal collection to manufacturer, essentially connection or collection, and I think something's been lost there for certain organizations, and I think we should get behind these organizations because they do good works, and whatever they have to spend on other things like this takes away from their ability to do good works. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Kirkby.
It's been covered.
Both of those, eh? Okay. Perfect. So you got those. So the motion is as amended then. Can I get a move? Did I get a mover and seconder? Oh, I didn't. Jeez. Moved by Councillor Kirkby, seconded by Councillor Campbell. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. All right. I don't have any committee reports. The mayor's report, since we were here last, Christmas Eve, I did the Bruce Wiley show, his last Christmas Eve show, because he's retiring in April, he told us, and that was very nice. A lot of people, a lot of different people come and go that day, and it's a nice day. New Year's, I did the levee in Brockville at the Legion. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary next year. Sorry, it's all of Legion's 100th anniversary this year and it's their 100th next year. So that was a big deal. And then we came down to Prescott and did their levy there, which was well attended. And again, we had quite a few local mayors show up for that one. I'd like to thank Mayor Wren, Mayor Burrow, Mayor Deschamps, and Deputy Mayor Adrian Winans came to that one because Mayor Shaver was sick. Last week at Joint Services Committee, yours truly became the new chair of that committee. Anyway, so, and of course, then it followed up with a 4-hour meeting, which was just great. Anyway, so that's a big one. And then we also had, last week, we had our OPP board meeting held here in Prescott. So I'm going to move along then, and Councillor Ray Young.
Nothing to report. I did attend the levy with you.
That's right.
January 1st, but that was the only official duty I attended.
Not bad. Councillor Young?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. I have not attended any meetings, but we have a heritage meeting and a BIA meeting scheduled for next week.
All right. Deputy Mayor McConnell?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. Unless fellow council has any questions, I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Councillor Campbell?
I attended the fire admin meeting on January 6th. It seemed kind of sudden. I was like, oh, Christmas is over.
I know.
They have ongoing recruitment and they've happily received 3 new applications to join the department. So they're going to be looking through those. The training committee's been meeting to figure out the kind of training that they're going to do for the whole year and a bit of a twist to it. They're trying to augment their training. Anniversaries at fire department, Chris Veltkamp, 17 years, Daniel Norton, 4 years, Wyatt Price, 4 years, and Rennie Rayner as chief, 36 years. And they received $7,000 from the Legion grant towards the purchase of some JAWS equipment. And they received a $16,000 grant for the purchase of safety equipment. And 1 resignation, Gavin Dennison had been taking EMT training and he has a nice new job way up in Kenora as of January 13th.
Oh, good for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Through you, Mayor Shankar. I don't have much to share other than the operations. I did attend the levy in Prescott, but I didn't get there till later. But anyways, it was a good event and a good talk with the people down there. Just some from operations, lots of snow removal, opening up the catch basins, some work on the plows. It's been a winter, but it seems like that 2 weeks, 3 week stretch there, we really got a lot of snow and melting and stuff like that. And then just that in Leanne's absence, that the ACC was really busy over the holidays, had use every day except Christmas Day and Boxing Day and New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. But a shout out to the parks and canteen staff and social or the community service groups who worked all them holidays, during that time frame. And just to note that the Leo Boyden Community Center continued to see lots of use during that time frame also. Thank you.
Did you want to mention that snow removal next week?
The snow removal.
There will be.
Oh, for next week. Yeah, sorry. The snowbank removal. I might have missed that. Did I miss that, Mr. Loft?
I think they just kind
I
of.
must have misread it.
It's an email later in the day.
Okay, sorry, I apologize.
That's okay. I thought I'd just let you.
Yeah, so they're gonna do snowbank removal next week. Thank you.
Sorry, this week. This week.
Okay.
I thought I'd better check that. Because that's a concern everyone always has. I know we have a bylaw that states, if it's less than 4 feet, we don't do it, but we're gonna go ahead and do it now because I think that warm weather is gone now that we had. All right, thank you, everyone. All right, we'll move into our staff reports. Our first one is staff report 01, 2026, Emergency Management Program Annual Report. This comes from Tracy Day and it's for information only. So Tracy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. The report before you provides a summary of the town's emergency management program activities that occurred during the 2025 year. The emergency management program completed on 3 occasions during 2025 and participated in an annual emergency exercise as mandated under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act. The town of Prescott 2025 compliance report was submitted and received by the province on December 16, 2025, and we will await the results as we usually do sometime around March. We should find out if we make compliance this year.
Great, thank you. That was quicker than I thought. Any questions from Ms. Day? Wow, you're lucky. If the chief was here,
No.
nothing but questions. All right, thank you, Ms. Day. Next up is,
Mr. Mayor,
yes, sir.
Tracy is concerned about getting up and walking out.
Yeah,
He is excused, isn't she?
she is.
If she wants to leave, she can.
Thanks, Council.
Absolutely. If you want to, anytime. All right, next up is staff report 12.2. It's just an economic development and tourism, a year in review. So this is for information only, and Miss Dana Valentine has got this for us.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar, for you to council. So we have just basically an overview of some of the development and tourism functions that have taken place over the past year. So just for the first slide, I'll take you through a little bit of a business snapshot. I do apologize. Upon review of the numbers, you'll see there are 3 additional businesses in the downtown BIA area than what was included in your report as part of the council package. I realized there was a bit of an oversight on my part. So that actually brings our total to 107 businesses within the downtown BIA core. Then we have 32 businesses south of the railway tracks within the downtown core, but not part of that BIA levy area. And then 44 uptown businesses for a total of 183, 90% of which are small to medium enterprises. So that would be businesses with employees of 50 people or less. So that's a pretty significant number for Prescott. Very healthy. I know in the past, there tends to be this notion that bigger businesses with lots of employees make for healthy communities, but it really is a blended mix of small to medium enterprises that make for the healthiest. Because if we do God forbid lose a business, it doesn't decimate the community and our employment base. So very healthy from that perspective, as well as over 40 home-based businesses. Hard to get an accurate count on those because not everyone reports when they are opening, especially when they're running home-based businesses. But I think that is a very accurate estimate of what we're currently looking at. Over to the next slide. I'll just take you through some of the numbers. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. So we had 8 business openings in 2025 and 8 business developments. So that includes expansions, ownership changes, and relocations. We have 6 pending business openings, and we unfortunately did see 6 business closures this year. And our current vacancy rate in the downtown is 13%. When you look at the provincial average, we're very much on par with that. But we have set a goal for in the economic development department to hit 10% at minimum within the next year. And Uptown currently has a 0% vacancy rate. Certainly way less commercial properties in the Uptown core than there are downtown. All right, so business openings and developments. This is just a little slideshow. We had a very busy year. This is just a few of the business openings and expansions, new owner welcomes that we celebrated. I certainly won't take you through the list. Feel free to peruse those in your own spare time. And just a quick overview of the CIP incentive program. You're all very familiar with this. Sorry, wrong way. So we have 5 eligible areas, the downtown core and Riverwalk district. We have the employment areas, heritage properties, brownfield sites, and the newest one, which is the large scale residential developments. Available incentives include grants, loans, tax cancellations, tax incentives, and permit fees. And we're also very proud to be in partnership with Community Futures Grenville on a matching loan program. So any approved CIP applicants automatically qualify for matching loan funds through the CIP, and we've had quite a few applicants take advantage of that program, especially the bigger projects that we're seeing with multi-unit renovations. And then just some key performance indicators for the CIP program from 2018 to 2025. That's essentially since we've been offering a formalized CIP incentive program, so we continue to track those numbers. So we've had 85 approved projects, and 66 of which have been completed to date, 4 projects canceled, and 15 currently in progress. And a total grant value of 1.2 million, loans totaling just over 2 million, and the total investment value translates to 38 million, which is a really significant reinvestment from the applicants that have received funding through this program. And we continue to see a lot of interest and uptake, which is also very exciting. And then just to take you through some of the business retention and expansions activities, one of our big events this year was the Small Business Week Forum. We had a couple of events led by Economic Development Department as well as the BIA. And then we partnered with several organizations on hosting a variety of events for businesses that week. And I won't go through the entire list, but these are just some examples of some of the BRNE activities that we work on, whether it be business contest promotion, shop local campaigns, business counseling, business funding and support resources, workforce development, and business incubator opportunities such as the farmers market and pop-ups, and then of course downtown business supports. And then just a little overview of the farmers market. This has been, since our department took this over, this was a vendor-run market up until 2020. The town took this over and it has really grown exponentially since then. I really have to give full credit to our business development coordinator, Justin St. Pierre. He has turned this into a free vendor market at the clock tower parking lot to a market that is thriving. We're averaging at least 10 vendors a week. These are more the seasonal vendors. That doesn't even count the ones that come through on a weekly basis. And it is a true market. We have a variety of vendors offering produce, baked goods, preserves, artisans and crafts, as well as offering a nice variety of music and entertainment. And it's currently operating every Saturday from 11 to 3. We are looking at some potential hours changes for next year, just based on some feedback that we had from our vendors, as well as some other market research that we've been doing. And then I'll take you just a brief overview of the pop-ups. We added 4 new sheds this year. We added a non-motorized boat rental operator, which was very exciting, and they do plan to return next year. We had 90% occupancy throughout the tourism season, and a really nice mix of seasonal and short-term vendors. We're really striving to keep it well balanced between your regular vendors as well as new vendors, so that every time people visit, they're finding something fresh and new. And then, of course, we've got a healthy mix of new and returning vendors for 2026. 2025 visitors, we use a pedestrian counter to get a sense of the visitation. This is definitely a conservative estimate. We would like to invest in something a little bit more accurate from a counting perspective. So we use this more for analyzing trends, but we did notice there was a reduction in visitors this year. And in looking at some of the data, we're finding that that can really be attributed to weather. Our summer was seriously impacted by weather. And, you know, I think we all think about winter and how that impacts things like ODRs and all these winter activities that we want to do. But it really, more and more, it's becoming a real concern in the summer that I think we need to take into consideration when it comes to looking at future development. So, for example, In 2025, we had 14 of 49 valid open days were classified as extreme heat, meaning over 28 degrees Celsius. And based on that, we saw about 20% lower traffic on those extreme weather days. It had a significant impact. It also shortened the stay. So in 2024, our visitation averaged 30% between 12 to 3, 30% between 5 to 7, and between 3 to 5, and then 22% between 5 to 8. This year, we saw 60% of our visitors between 12 to 3. And then between that 3 to 8 period, it was like 40%. So it was significant reductions. And again, because those were the hottest periods of the day. So we are certainly looking at some adjustments when it comes to hours, making some improvements when it comes to such as misting cooling stations, adding more seating with umbrellas, and looking at cool down activations for those evening periods, as well as looking at reducing hours for the weekends into more of a daytime operation for the pop-ups, and focusing on Friday for more of those evening operations, because that tended to be the day that we really got the most traffic during those evening hours. So it's been really insightful. I will say artificial intelligence has been a wonderful tool when it comes to analyzing some of the data and the trends that we're seeing at the pop-ups. It's done a really good job of analyzing the weather patterns with the counter data, with some of our environics marketing data to come up with some really good feedback on the pop-ups. And I think we're going to take that to heart next year. And again, next year we could see a summer like 2024. So it's very hard to predict. All we can do is try to augment that as best as possible. But I think it's, the weather challenges are going to be apparent moving forward, and certainly not just for us, a lot of other programs throughout the municipality as well. And then just to take you through a quick overview of our branding and marketing strategy. None of this is new information, so just wanted to remind you that we are in the process of launching that, and we are going to be moving forward with a lot of new marketing initiatives this year, some signage, new marketing strategies. And of course, that all really begins with our new logo and our new branding and marketing strategy. And some of the key pillars that have been identified that I really think resonate with the work that we're doing are Prescott supports service, success, shore, sport, spirit, and scene. These are pillars that are really usable for every department, regardless of the work that we're doing. And the audiences and key messaging are for visitors. We're really focusing on day trippers, weekend getawayers, and US visitors. Residents, the focus is going to be on young families and urban escapees. And for businesses, continuing to focus on the entrepreneur and small business market. And then just to provide you with some examples of some of the media and marketing that we've been doing in the past year, we had a great feature in the Business View magazine. They did a really nice editorial on the community, and Prescott was named one of the best managed towns of the year. So that was certainly an exciting feature. And this is just a slide about showing you some examples of some ads that we've done. Feel free to peruse those. We're actively advertising in a number of tourism and economic development publications. And our newsletter, very exciting. This continues to grow. We've hit 1,300 plus subscribers this year. And I just included a QR code there. This is something that we're looking at actually splitting up based on some recommendations from the marketing strategy into a tourism and ec-dev focused newsletter. So summer would be more tourism focused, and the winter fall season would be more ec-dev focused. And then environics, I wanted to take you through this. This is something that I can't really begin to explain. I'm happy to sit down with you and have a more fulsome conversation, because it really is insightful data. But I'll take you through a quick little snapshot. So first, our population, we are growing. 2021 census had Prescott's population at 4,078. According to our data, we were sitting at 4666 in 2023 and projected to hit 4889 in 2033. Census comes out in 2026, so I'm very curious to see if that resonates. So Prescott's demographics, we are growing, our age is decreasing, and our education levels are growing as well as our household income. All very positive signs for the community. And then who lives in Prescott? This kind of gives you just some insights into our local residents and their makeup. It's provides you with some of the key demographics that we're seeing, common segments, are scenic retirement, Old Town Road, country traditions. They tend to be long established households, small town families, community connected residents. And some of the emerging ones that we're seeing are boomer bliss and modern suburbia, which are more affluent, professionally active newcomers and young families seeking convenience and lifestyle. So again, really resonating with where we're headed from a community development perspective. This is our trade area, which basically includes Augusta, Edwardsburg, Cardinal, and Brockville, which encompasses about 18,000 people. That is up to the outskirts of Brockville. Household income, we're looking at an average of 102,000, and we're seeing 43% with college and above. And Brockville is very quickly becoming Prescott's secondary trade area. And as you can see, the demographics of Brockville paint a very different picture than Prescott. And we are more and more actively attracting that population to the community, which is certainly a very positive sign. And then into the visitors. So, and I do apologize, this is 2024 numbers. We don't have 2025 data. We're hoping to secure funding to acquire the Environics 2025 data. But this is an excellent picture of 2024. So we welcomed 457,000 unique visitors. So those are people, those aren't the repeat visitors, those are unique individual people who came to Prescott in 2024. Average income of 120,000, 25% were visible minorities, and the average age was 54. And then into just some of the key visitor insights, how to reach them. Core segments include online advertising, radio, print, and some of the emerging segments are specialty media, experiences, and targeted social media. And a lot of our visitors, as far as their habits, they tend to dine out at casual and formal restaurants, they shop at retail stores, and they participate in outdoor recreation and entertainment. And just a little snapshot of where they're coming from, everywhere from Cornwall, Ottawa area, those are the primary markets. This is a snapshot. I'm sorry, this slide did not present as it should have, so I won't even bother trying to explain that. That is a very confusing slide. I'm sure it'll present if you want to look at it on your own. This just takes you through some of the visitors by the numbers. And we saw in our attractions, just an example of what we saw visitation wise. So Fort Wellington saw just under 19,000 visitors this year, increase of 39%, in large part, we believe, due to the Canada Strong Pass, which is being renewed for this year. The harbor saw 71% visitors from outside of our trade area, very promising. Golf club, again, 59% visitors outside the trade area. And just a bit of a snapshot of the tourism season. I apologize, this slide is not presenting as it should either. This was downtown specifically in 2024. We had 257,000 visits. A significant number of visitors coming to the downtown. Key areas they were coming from included Frontenac, Kemptville, and Alexandria. So certainly a wide range. And then our visitor circulation. We saw 80% of the pop-up visitors also visited an uptown or downtown store during their stay in Prescott. And the number of downtown visitors who visit uptown businesses during their stay were 69%. So people are moving about the community, which is certainly encouraging. And then Prescott BIA, just a few examples of some work that we're doing throughout the year, from the summer passport program to our new associate member program, to the promenade event, and some public art programs that we really hope to expand on. And then just quickly, I'll take you through some of the community revitalization things that we added last year. The new viewfinder binoculars, our scuba dive park enhancements, the waterfront patio, our Tudo bike rental stations, and our attraction wayfinding sign program was implemented, as well as most recently our new downtown mural and business wayfinding sign. And then our Lighthouse Visitor Center had a very successful year. We welcomed over 4,500 visitors, and we do plan to reopen that again in 2026. Just a snapshot of some of the tourism events that we welcomed, from Rib Fest, Shakespeare Festival, Beer Fest. There were a number of events, new events that we hope to continue with in 2026, and some of the economic development events that we attended as well. Feel free to peruse those on your own time. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions. I apologize for going over time.
That's okay.
Now it's showing me a countdown clock, so I apologize.
A lot of information there, Ms. Valentine. Any questions for Ms. Valentine? Oh, Tracy, Ms. Young?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. I just want to thank Dana for that really detailed report. There's so much information in there that it'll be good to go back and really look at it a little more, but it really illustrates the scope of work and that the department undertakes. So congratulations, really great job.
It's certainly a team effort.
Miss, go ahead, Councillor Campbell.
Mayor Shankar, just, it was so easy to read, and it was actually fun to read, so thanks for that. Okay, thank you. Good colors and pictures, and yeah, I really understand. When it goes on and on as words, then this is great, it's refreshing. Thank you.
Dana, what are the chances that we will see the 25 data?
So we are applying to the Rural Ontario Development Funding Program, and that will be one of the projects that we're going to be requesting funding for. It will require a municipal allocation, but I'm sure Matthew can take you through that as part of the budget process.
Very good. Follow up?
Through you again, Mayor Shankar, I have a question about the wayfinding signs. So are those plates easily removable?
Yeah.
Okay.
All interchangeable, so as things change, for example, Fairway Park, if that does end up being sold and developed, that would be one of the signs that would be.
Or if businesses go to business and new businesses come in.
Yes, yeah, if they're easily changeable, it does change frequently with
Yeah.
businesses moving in and out, and we can easily change the plates. That's all been set up to be done.
Good
We
idea.
have some changes to make already, so don't look too closely.
I saw them there.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to move on. Our next one is the 2026 initial projects list from Matthew. Again, for information. Matthew, floor is yours.
There we go. Thank you very much. So this evening, we're going to go through the initial list. This is just the list that you'll have an opportunity to weigh in on over the next few weeks, prioritize the projects, and then we'll come back in February, I believe, to take a look at the prioritized one. So just taking a quick look at the ones that have been previously approved. Obviously, the largest one being the water wastewater expansion at just shy of 33 million. East Street reconstruction, Dibble to James, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Water tower demolition, that's been approved and will be undertaken this year. The water treatment plant sand filter upgrade is nearing completion. Breakwater improvements, we're waiting to hear back on a funding application. And then a bunch of smaller ones that have notes in there as we go through. So all told, we're sitting at about 34.6 million in approved projects that are either being completed this year or ongoing for the last several years. If we take a look at our 2026 health and safety projects, we have, as per usual, the fire department replacement gear and the play structure deficiencies. So no real changes there. Next, we took a look at the projects that didn't make the list in 2025. And just before Christmas and shortly after New Year, we went through and I asked members of council to identify whether they wish to keep them on the list or they didn't see a need for them. So made a number of thoughts of additions to moving forward to 2026, and then those that didn't get any support, removing them from the list. So I'm just going to pause there. Is there anything that, when you take a look at that list, that you disagree with from it at this point? Ones that you think should move forward to 26, or that you agree that they should be removed from the list?
Councillor Kirkby?
Through you, Mayor Schenker. I think if they, if they have a lower number, so like the walkway onto the marina rock wall, I mean, staff did put that in there as future, but it has one for council, so that's one person. And then some of the other ones where they only have two seem like easy removals for me. If they've only had two people flag and potentially, no staff support, meaning staff that sometimes are the experts on these things need to happen now, right? From a perspective of safety or whatever. But I would think that some of them that don't have enough support on there should probably just be removed, in my opinion.
So I think the only one that doesn't.
There is now, yeah.
Doesn't move forward, or that would
qualify.
Be there is the marina parking lot. Everything else is either removed from list or moved to a future. And the one in particular, in terms of walkway onto Marina rock wall, break wall, then we just need to take an evaluation from a feasibility study. We don't know what that could possibly look like. We have an idea of what that looks like, just because of the amount of engineering and construction that would have to go into it. But that's why we said move it to when if we have an opportunity to work with somebody that specializes in that, which might be an opportunity this year as we go to do the break wall by the water treatment plant. Then just talking to a contractor that says, what is the art of possible? And then that way we can come back and say, is it a $50,000 project or is it a $500,000 project? And so really a lot of those that had the twos wouldn't be moving forward, with the exception of the expansion of the parking lot.
For what it's worth, 30 years ago, when we built the marina, it was removed because it was $500,000 at that time.
Well, and my point is when I read that undertake feasibility evaluation, I hear money.
No, that is not a money one. That is ask somebody that does this and get an understanding of, what is the number? Is it 5 digits or is it 6 or 7 digits? If it's 6 and 7, that's a different story. If it's 5, then we'll come back to council and see what your thoughts are.
It'd be great to have.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, I'm fine.
So then when we take a look at the new project ideas, again, we don't need to go through them this evening, but a couple of we've already talked about. Obviously, the Rockland District Hospital Foundation moving to year 9 of 10. That was a commitment made 9 years ago. So the water main replacement, Van Conant to Russell, that's on King Street. And so the suggestion would be to move the East Street project from James to Dibble to 2027 and use that money to replace that. At the same time, we suggested there's a portion of a water main that needs to be reinstalled or reinstated that connects Mackenzie and Fishel to Prescott Center Drive. So it really highlighted, we had a water main break on Edward Street this year, and everything north of that water main break, which was in the area of the high school, because we don't have it in a circular fashion, then everything north of that got cut off and had to be temporarily suspended. So that's Victor, Roberta, and all of Prescott Center Drive and the high school. So years ago, there was one. Unfortunately, someone put a house on top of it and it had to be abandoned. And so now it's to reestablish that so that if there is a water main break, we can actually isolate it and it would keep all of Prescott Center Drive, Roberta, and Victor being able to be serviced on a constant basis. So the suggestion is to take those two projects and put it in place of the East Street project that was slated for 2026. and then move those two forward. One that we wanted to note, which is the fire communications upgrade. So the platform that all of the counties is currently on is sunsetting in 2026 or 2027, and needing to move forward to a new technology platform. So they don't have a final decision on what that looks like, but when they move that to the countywide platform, we will need to upgrade all of our systems as well here in Prescott, which is a big number. Obviously, 300,000. We feel that that's the high number, and then depending on which way they go, then it could be less than that. The Ohio Community Center deficiencies, that was year one, based on the condition assessment that we previously talked about. Also, we did go through an audit from accessibility standpoint from the province, and we are required to comply with a fully accessible website by the end of 2026. So that's in there as well. One addition to the operations parks is a replacement tractor. We have a tractor currently that is undersized for some of the implements that we have for it. And so now that we're taking on the SRC in 2026 and expanding that overall amount that we need to keep maintained, then it would be a good time to add that parks tractor. So again, there's 5 pages of it that is there, and more than happy to answer any questions, but you will have an opportunity to provide your own prioritization, which we will then come back and discuss in February. So really, at the end of the day, does council agree with the 2025 project idea recommendations being either to remove them from that list, bring them forward to 2026, or move them forward to some future year? Next, we would combine the 2025 project ideas that move forward with the 2026 and send that to council members later this week. And then we will come back and have a discussion in February on the prioritized list, see how we would pay for it in terms of reserves, those types of things, and then be able to come to a final list for 2026 for council. I'm happy to answer any questions that might be.
I thought I saw Deputy Mayor McConnell. Did you have your hand up?
I did, Mayor Shankar, thank you, and I'm going to apologize right up front because I've lost you folks for a couple of times during the last 15 minutes, so something I might ask may already have been answered, and if it is, I'm sorry for pounding on the same subject, but the let's see here, the Prescott projects list, the water and wastewater expansion, it mentions tenders. Discussed when I was away.
No, so if I may.
Shit.
There's a couple of tenders that will be coming out in 2026. Nothing has been issued. We foresee within the next couple of months, we'll be issuing the tender for the force main that runs from pump station number 5 into Edwardsburg Cardinal. That will be followed by a tender probably in the April-May timeframe for the new pumping stations. Following along with that timeframe will also be the expansion of water wastewater infrastructure into Augusta, and then in the June-July timeframe will be the wastewater treatment plant and the refurbishment of or upsizing of the pumping stations that are in Prescott themselves. So all of those tenders are being worked on. They're working through the design stage. And as soon as we're ready to issue those tenders, and then they'll come back for council for consideration as we kind of get the project shovels in the ground.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed most of that, but what I got at the very end is that you're working on the tenders and they're gonna go out as they're ready. Is that what I understand from what you said?
Correct, between March and July, there'll be a total of 4 or 5 tenders that will go out. And then as they come back, we'll bring them forward to council for review and approval.
Okay, well, then my subsequent question to that would be, where are we with the Augusta funding of this expansion into Augusta Township? Because quite frankly, if they don't agree to fund the expansion, we don't need the expansion.
So we've had a couple of discussions and we're hoping to bring something back to both councils in February.
Very good, thank you. If I may, I had a couple other questions, as long as I'm still here. The clock tower, that the work on the clock tower was approved last year and the funding for it last year, but are we doing that ourselves or are we contracting it out? Jesus.
Not sure if you can hear me or not. The intention is to contract it out. It's a project that just has not yet been started.
What's going on with the internet here? Is it here or is it in Prescott?
We can hear you.
Maybe just tell them that.
There you are.
Back.
They're gonna contract it out.
They're gonna contract it out. Okay, well, since we're not, I just assumed we were doing it ourselves because it sat there all summer. Why wasn't it contracted out? The money was appropriated. It sat there looking decrepit all summer. Why wasn't it contracted out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good answer for that other than we sort of sorted our projects in order of highest cost to lowest cost, and we didn't get to that one yet.
But if the money is appropriated for it, it's a matter of giving somebody the job. And we had the whole summer to do it. And the reason it was scheduled is because to avoid any further damage to the building. I don't see any reason why that wasn't done, quite frankly. I think somebody slipped up there. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor the subject. The expansion of the river route, if I may. The Augusta Township, from what I heard, and you're gone again.
No, we're still
I don't
here.
know if you can hear me or not. I'll go ahead with what I'm saying, and if you can hear me, great.
I don't think it's.
This is silly.
Hello? You still there?
We can hear you.
Okay, did you hear my question so far?
Yes.
All right. It was in regards to the river route. If Augusta is looking to decrease their contribution, how much are they looking to decrease it? How is that going to affect our contribution? And what has it got to do with the purchase of a new bus?
So in terms of that exact information, we're still working with Augusta to understand what a revised contribution would look like. And we hope to be able to bring that forward as part of the budget package at the next meeting.
Very good, thank you. And as I understand, we had an events trailer stolen. This is the first time I've heard of that. When was it stolen? And where was it stolen from? How much is it worth?
I think we can get into that detail in a separate email.
Is he frozen?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna answer that through an email. And we're gonna move along. You're frozen again. I don't know if you can hear me. All right. Are we done with that? Is there any other questions on the project list? Seeing none?
We're good.
We're good? All right. Okay, next up is staff report 02-2026, a Bill 60 review from our planner, Tim Fisher. Is Tim online?
Yes.
Tim, the floor is yours. There it is. Hopefully you got better internet.
I'm hoping. But if, yeah, hopefully I don't get kicked off here. So, so far everything's been pretty good. Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor, through to council. I guess council has asked for a brief explanation on the recent bill that was passed in November. That's Bill 60. And let me just get some information up here. So Bill 60 is titled Fighting Delays, Building Faster Act. This is built upon the past bill changes to the Planning Acts to speed up building and development within municipalities, that sort of thing. So it adds on to what's already happened in Bill 17, Bill 5, Bill 185, Bill 23. And really what I've done here is I've provided council with a brief explanation of the sections of Bill 60 that pretty much are addressing Prescott's development concerns, that sort of thing. So when we look at that, we're looking at pretty much four key parts of this bill. So the first one is obviously the changes to the Planning Act. The changes to the Planning Act, there's been a few changes in regards to ministers' decisions. Now the minister's decisions have to be consistent with the provincial policy. It just gives a little more clarity for the minister to follow. And then the status implementation for zoning orders, that typically hasn't happened around us as of yet. That's more for that you'll see more in the Toronto area, the greater metropolitan areas, and the big projects that the minister is going to step in on. The expansion of the as of right variances. This is one that they were talking about in the past changes, but they're kind of moving forward a little more. I'll get into a little more detail in regards to that, but just briefly, as of rights variances would be a set percentage that somebody can technically automatically get the variance without going through an application process. They would just more or less come to the town, and we would review it and either agree or not agree. So there's no real major process with that. Anything outside of more or less the 10% is what they're thinking of, they'll have to come through on a formal application. Then there's community improvement plans, the CIPs. That has been updated to allow upper tier municipalities to create CIPs and have a little more flexibility through their avenue in creating CIPs. And then we're looking at streamlined amendments within protected major transit station areas. This is built upon the past bill. Now, that is, it may not be Prescott oriented. However, if we look at it technically, the 401 corridor and Edwards Street, that sort of thing, could be considered a major transit station area. But it just streamlines some of the approval processes to allow development to happen a little quicker along these determined routes. There are some proposals under the Environmental Registry of Ontario. Now, these are consultants. What they're looking for is basic comments from either individuals or municipalities in regards to some proposed changes. And they just want to get a feel of how everybody would like to see something happen. Now, they usually ask these questions quite often, but these ones were particular within Bill 60. So the first one is consultation enhancing development standards. So that's like lot level outside of the buildings. So we're looking at I'm trying to remember exactly what that one was. I'll get back to that one. I'm sure it'll come back to my mind here. The second one was the minimum lot sizes. The minimum lot sizes, the province is looking at what the minimum lot areas would be for your typical development. So in every municipality, somebody would look at, let's say, rural lots, the minimum size of rural lots. Some may allow 2 acres, most allow 2.5 acres, that sort of thing, or even minimum lot sizes for agricultural uses, that sort of thing. Doesn't really affect Prescott. However, within the urban area, they are looking at sizes of lots. So your typical single family home, why do we ask for, I don't know, 500 square meters, while other people are asking for 300 square meters? So they want to get a feel of what everybody is asking for and what we think a minimum lot size would allow for your average development. And that would also include for bigger developments, that sort of thing. So now going back to the other one, I just remembered that one. So this is the setbacks, that sort of thing, the actual development within the lots, and getting some ideas of proposed setbacks. So if we have seen developments with smaller setbacks or requests for reductions, or if we have some information that we can give them in regards to maybe some different types of development design, we can provide that to them through that specific question. The other one is consultation and simplifying the standards of an official plan. This one is kind of interesting because what they want to know is, what do we think should be in an official plan and how can we condense it and make it easier to read and interpret? One of the big things is you're not supposed to put any zoning related matters within an official plan. So an official plan is supposed to be just real basic documentation. You shouldn't be going in and setting certain standards. Standards are in setbacks, that sort of thing, are all put into a zoning bylaw. So that, and through the zoning bylaw, we can do variances, that sort of thing. So one of the things that they want to see is all that zoning related matters removed from an official plan, and wording and definitions, that sort of thing, being very clear and not duplicating a lot of the verbiage that is in there, because a lot of the times we may say something along the lines of environmental protection and then natural heritage and that sort of thing, where it's very similar and we can almost condense certain things within the official plan. So so in regards to those specific 3 questions, I would say council can direct staff to look into this, or we can have these come back at another meeting and we can discuss what what we can propose for Prescott for these questions, or we can just leave them as is. Now there's changes to the Development Charges Act. This would be for land acquisitions and cost controls. There's also local service policies in definition and reducing disputes. There's also DC deferrals, which are now in effect. So there's been a lot of talks about changes to the Development Charges Act to give a little more flexibility on when development charges can be applied. So usually somebody would come in and have a development. We would require them to pay their development charges either through a development, through site plan, or typically through a building permit. And then they're out of pocket this amount early on before they even break ground. So what they've done is they've kind of given some options of prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit. That's when the development charges can be paid or be paid in full. So there's an opportunity also to have a stepped paying structure as well too. So it just gives a little bit of flexibility for developers to have money up front and not have this overall cost be placed on them right early on in the project before anything even starts. So it's an easy way for them to recoup a lot of their costs. And then the last one is, and this one is more for information and understanding of some of the changes that have happened to the Residential Tenancies Act. As we've seen in the past, there's been a lot of changes that have happened that has given tenants a lot more rights in regards to
Jesus.
paying that sort of thing. So these changes that they've made now give the owner or the developer, or the owner of the property, more flexibility on how to deal with non-payment of rent, and also dealing with evictions, also dealing with what's constituted as landlord's own use. So if somebody was to say, I have to remove you because I'm now taking over because my family's moving in, or I'm now taking over, there's now a set criteria in order for them to technically meet those requirements. And also, they've also created notices forms that are standardized. Before, they were kind of willy-nilly. It's the only way I could put it. There's a lot of different types of forms that were out there. Nothing really was standardized for municipalities or what was being submitted, that sort of thing. So new forms and everything have been created, and those are the forms that are now going to be moving forward. So anything to do with tenancy disputes, that sort of thing, they have to fill out certain forms and provide required information moving forward now. So the one big one, and that I covered kind of briefly, was the changes for the as of right variances. This doesn't strip away the need for a minor variance. It just, the view that the province has here is, if somebody comes in and asks for a minor variance for, I don't know, let's say a shed or a garage that had to be 4 feet and they want to reduce it down by a foot or 6 inches, that sort of thing. There's no flexibility there. If technically they're half an inch off or just slightly within that setback, they have to come in for a variance. This provides people with an opportunity to bypass, but still allow the municipality to review and decide if it actually makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then we can say, we're not going to support it, but they could still apply for a minor variance at that time and then have the committee of adjustment deal with it. I would say 9 times out of 10, you would probably see these 10% deals go through. It would just be a very rare case when based on the plan that's being provided. And maybe it's an existing legal non-complying situation where they didn't comply with already with a setback, but yet they want to go further into it. We can't look at that. We have to look at the existing zone and the setback there. So I don't foresee the 10% rule being a major issue. Right now, they don't have a set criteria or what or how that's going to be applied. They're just saying now, at this point, they've now decided that it's going to be a 10%. The questions that they came up with that they're asking is, where do you think that how do you think this 10% should be applied? Should it be applied only to setbacks? Should it be applied to everything? Should be, that sort of thing. So what they're going to do is maybe at the next change or who knows when, in the near future, they're going to create an actual list and they're going to say the 10% only applies to, these criteria within the zoning bylaws. Anything outside of that would still require the variance route. So I guess for further details, you can go through the report that I provided you, but this kind of provides a real lump sum of the issues that deal with Prescott here. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have there in regards to this, and I leave it in your hands.
Thank you, Tim. I'm gonna, I don't know if there'll be many questions, but let's see, is there any questions? Oh, Ms. Campbell.
Tim, just so I get this right, so as of right variances, if someone wants a variance and if it's under 10%, it would go to the committee of adjustment. Does it ever come to council? Or does through this whole thing, it just goes through the committee of adjustment?
No, so any minor variances would go to the committee of adjustment, which is obviously a committee appointed by council. So no, it doesn't come back to council. The 10% rule, if it's under 10%, it would go to, let's say, myself and to Matthew. We may just do a quick, maybe a technical search internally and just maybe speak to, internal departments just to see if anybody would have any objections. And if we feel that it's in keeping, it's not going to cause any issues, there's no major impacts, we still have to review it based on kind of the 4 tests, right? If we feel that everything's going to be fine, then technically we can issue the approval. So it'll be internal wise is how we would be doing it. Anything above 10% would have to go to the committee of adjustment.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Deputy Mayor McConnell?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. At one point when I was reading through this, it references section 47, 4.3.1, And it says delegate its authority, elimination of council approval. I'm always concerned when anything is eliminating council approval. Can you clarify that for us, please?
Section 47, you put me right on the spot. I'll have to find that here.
That's why you're there.
I know, right? Let's see here.
It's in your report.
Here we go. So that is for, yes, that is for the ministerial zoning orders. So Bill 60, it adds a new section to section 47. Let's see here, that alter the implementation of the MZOs by reducing consultation requirements and speeding up the process. So let's see here. Yes. So this would allow the minister to enter into one or more agreements and execute the agreements. So this would allow them to proceed with an order and deal with those. Let's see here. I'm just trying to remember where we are, what this one was for. If you just want to give me a couple minutes, you can go on and ask another question. I'll just double check this one thing. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the right answer on this one, because it deals with two things. So
Any other questions? Let's see. Usually an MZO is overarching anyway, isn't it?
Right, and usually with an MZO, it's at the request of the municipality.
Right.
That the minister would make such an order. So subsection 47, 4.3.1 allows the municipality to delegate its authority to enter into a site plan or inclusionary zoning agreement. Yeah, so it very similar to the site plan that they made changes to, is that it would just be delegated authority.
To the MZO?
No, that the municipality, subsequent to an MZO, if there's an agreement with the municipality, it would then council can delegate that authority to a staff person for the agreement.
yeah, that's right. So through the MZOs, only through an MZO, if there are agreements and such, like Matthew said, the council can delegate to staff to deal with all these with the agreements and that. So that would eliminate the need to come back to council, that sort of. So it kind of eliminates a couple of the steps. And it also, the changes also allow the minister to specify certain timelines as well too, for entering into the required agreements. So that's been those are kind of like the two major changes on this one. It doesn't typically would affect us in particular unless the minister steps in and obviously an MZO is applied. And like I said before, these typically what you would see is larger municipalities or large developments or some sort of proposal that's kind of in a stalemate. That's when the minister comes in and they'll deal with the MZO. So we wouldn't see it too much or we wouldn't see it probably at all within Prescott. I'd anticipate.
All right, thank you, Tim. Sorry, Matthew?
That being said, this particular is a may, not shall.
Great. Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Tim, for that Bill 60 review. Almost sorry we asked about it.
All
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move along here. We have no resolutions, but we do have three bylaws tonight. The first one is bylaw 01-2026, interim tax levy bylaw. Motion is that the bylaw 01-2026, being a bylaw to provide for an interim tax levy for 2026, be read and passed, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed by the seal of the corporation. Moved by Councillor Ray Young, seconded by Councillor Kirkby. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Next one is bylaw 02-2026, a temporary borrowing bylaw. Motion is that bylaw 02-2026, being a bylaw to authorize temporary borrowing for the year of 2026, be read and passed, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed by the seal of the corporation. Can we have a mover and seconder? Moved by Councillor Kirkby, seconded by Deputy Mayor McConnell. All in favor? Carried, thank you.
Want any comments or anything?
Sure. No.
I don't think this has ever been used, has it, Matthew? It's always one of the first bylaws that you pass.
It's a requirement by our bank and all lending institutions first to pass it, and it's a feature under the municipal act that allows us to do so.
Yeah. Never been used.
I remember my first year I asked, like, what? What? All right. Next one up is bylaw 03-2026 is the council appointments for 2026. Motion is that bylaw 03-2026, being a bylaw to appoint members of council to boards and committees, to appoint members to the committees of council, and the appointments of deputy mayor for the year 2026, be read and passed, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed by the seal of the corporation. We do have a revised version that was circulated today with an amended deputy mayor schedule. So can I get a mover and seconder for that? I've got Councillor Tracy Young moving it and Councillor Kirkby seconding it. Is there any questions about this one? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried, thank you. All right. There's no new business. There's no notices of motion. There's no mayor's proclamation. Is there any media? No media. So we're moving into closed session. The motion is that council move into closed session at 7:32 PM to discuss matters pertaining to 19.1 approval of closed session minutes from December 15th, 2025. 19.2 potential negotiation of sale of municipal land. Under section 239-2C under the Municipal Act, acquisition or disposition of land, and under section 239-2K under the Municipal Act, plans and instructions for negotiations, specifically potential negotiation of sale of municipal land, and that the CAO, treasurer, director of administration, clerk, manager of economic development and tourism, municipal planner, and deputy clerk remain in the room. Moved by Councillor Kirkby, seconded by Councillor Campbell. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Take a